Well, the way that they could possibly work as a replacement is based upon how much money the company that is importing, when they're importing it, giving it to us, has to pay. But the only thing is, we have to pay the tariff, but who's importing, they have to pay the extra amount. And so what he's assuming will happen is based upon this increased price, we're going to get, it's almost like Reaganomics, the trickle down effect, in terms of we're going to get the bottom part that's going to come out as the excess. The only thing is, we're hoping that people are going to still buy. We're hoping people are going to have the income to even make those purchases. And then we're hoping that the company will still manufacture the goods, knowing that there's an increased amount. So there's a lot of what ifs in this chain. When you're collecting income taxes, there is no what if. If you work, they're taking the money. So it's more guaranteed, opposed to his way of saying, let's hope these things fall in line that will give us this extra revenue.
Interesting. And I think that's an excellent explanation, because still, even though we've been talking about tariffs quite a bit under this administration and even before, I still believe that most people don't quite understand what a tariff is. But I want to get a couple of stats. Okay, let's check some stats out, and then we'll get back to the conversation. Now, listen, let's talk about this $5,000 tax rebate proposal. Some politicians, and on both sides. Okay, we're not just talking about blue or red. Some politicians are proposing a one-time $5,000 rebate, but financial analysts are warning that this could be a short-term distraction with long-term consequences. And I want to take note before we move on is that we have to understand, when I say both sides, there are some people who are normally in the blue side who are also starting to agree with this. And there's like not a complete bipartisan on that. So I want you to understand that is on both sides. Let's continue with the stats. Federal income tax revenue in 2023. Federal income tax made up nearly 50% of government revenue, funding everything from education to infrastructure. And we talked a little bit about that, but we didn't even touch on education first. Potential cost increases. How's this going to affect your wallet? Experts predict that if tariffs replace income tax, everyday costs for imported goods could rise by 10 to 25%, impacting food, electronics, and clothing prices. Wow. So let's look at a little bit of the history, because we touched on this. Before the income tax system, which was in 1870 to 1913, tariffs were the main source of U.S. government funding, but this led to extreme wealth gaps, economic instability, and job losses in certain industries.